obeisances onto him who turns the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross mountains. Such is the mercy of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Padam Boja Madhupebhyo Namo Namaha Katanchit Ashrayadesham Swabhitad Gandha Bhagave. Let me repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances unto the bee-like devotees who always taste the honey of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If even a doggish non-devotee somehow takes shelter of such devotees, he enjoys the aroma of the lotus flower. He Krishna Karna Sandho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tatta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarosischa Krupa Sandhubhyaye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Translation. Due to his pious activities in previous lives, the conditioned soul attains material facilities in this life, but when they are finished, he takes shelter of wealth and riches which cannot help him in this life or the next. Because of this, he approaches the living dead who possess these things. Such people are compared to impure trees, creepers, and poisonous birds. So here we find that the impious or the Apunya Drumalatha, the Karaskara, Kakat, Tunda Adi. So these trees were initially mentioned in 513.5. There it was spoken as Apunya Vruksha. Punya is piety, Apunya is impious, Vruksha, the trees. So the trees or the living entity who have performed impious activities have taken the form of an impious tree or a tree which is not giving or is not serving the purpose for which the tree has been created. Normally the trees are meant to give us nice flowers and then good fruit which can be enjoyed by other living entities. But here the impiousness of the person is so much that even as a tree, the person happens to, or the living entity happens to be poisonous. So when the wealth and riches acquired through previous pious activities should not be misused for sense gratification. So we should understand from the statement that we get wealth, people tend to think that through sheer hard work. But here is a statement which says that one acquires wealth not by hard work, but it is based on the previous pious activities. So when you perform piety, then you get the wealth, and when you acquire that wealth should not be misused. Generally we have said, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. You perform some pious activity or some religious activity, and with that you earn some money. And when you get some money, artha, then kama. You try to satisfy your desires, and then you go for moksha. But that's rejected by Bhagavatam. So therefore that is called kaitava dharma. Whereas here we have said that you acquire the wealth by previous activities, but then that wealth should be utilized for Krishna consciousness or for Krishna conscious activities rather than for sense gratification. And this we find the same theme is mentioned in the verses like 1.29 of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Where it says, Dharmasya hi apavargasya artho ratayo kalpate Na arthasya dharmakai antasya kamo labhaya hi smritaha. So therefore the verse says that one should not acquire wealth for material benefit. Let me pull out that verse 1.2.9. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service shall never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. So the purport, the second paragraph, Srila Prabhupada mentions again, one should not engage himself in any sort of occupational service for material gain only, nor should material gain be utilized for sense gratification. How material gain should be utilized is described in the next verse. Life desire should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation, since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's work. So therefore here it said so clearly that one should not acquire the wealth for sense gratification. Rather, one should get the wealth only for just meeting the bare necessities of life, to keep the soul and the together so that we pursue the higher goal or the ultimate goal of realizing the absolute truth. The fact that the person receives something and then he loses it itself shows that the world where we live in is a temporary world. My goodness. The result we get is also temporary. And hence, somebody who has performed pious act in the previous life, he gets riches in this life, but then, because it's a temporary result, it disappears in a period of time. And this we can take through many examples in this world. When I was referring, I considered that there are three major examples you could see in the recent history. One is Mr. Anil Ambani. Anil Ambani, from his father, he has acquired about 2 lakh crores, not 1, 2, 2 lakh crores, something like over $20 billion. 20 billion. 20 billion US dollars. In less than 20 years, he lost everything. Well, the reason could be anything, but the result is today he has lost. That means that his piousness has vanished or disappeared with these 20 years, and it has given way to the intense agony for a person. If I lose $5 from my pocket, I search for any length of time, where did that $5 go, leaving aside everything. And here is a person who has lost $20 billion. You can imagine the amount of pain the person is feeling. Then, I'm coming from Hyderabad, south of India. It was ruled by we call it the Nizam. His great-grandson, Mukram Jahan, in after 1967, the Nizam, the last king, the last Nizam died. Mukram Jahan inherited wealth. In those days, he was considered to be the richest person in the world. In 1967, he was considered to be the richest person in the world, almost inheriting close to $1 billion from his grandfather. Today, can you imagine where is he living? He lives in a small apartment somewhere in an unknown place in some part of the world. A person who was the richest person in the world, today, from 1967 to today, 33 plus 20, about 50 years time, he has come to a very, very ordinary living. He lost his wealth. A third example, we can take the liquor barrel from Karnataka, Mr. Vijay Mallya. I think those of you who are reading papers, you can see that that person has lost $2 billion. And today, when the Indian courts are chasing him, he is hiding from India, or Indian courts or Indian banks. He is somewhere in UK trying to take the protection there. So all this, it means that it's an example in front of us. When the piety runs out, whatever wealth you have inherited or whatever effort you have put, so-called, it's an apparent effort backed by immense piety, and therefore you get a lot of wealth, and when you get that wealth, that should be used in Krishna consciousness. And if you do not use that wealth in Krishna consciousness, enjoying them for sense gratification is like enjoying the fruits of a poisonous tree. Such activities will not help the conditioned soul in any way, neither in this life nor the next. So what happens when we lose that wealth? We want money. So when we want money, we try to take the shelter of again persons who possess that wealth. And who are these persons? These are the persons who are compared here as living dead. He approaches the living dead who possess these things, and the living dead are called Jivan Mritan. Now, who can be considered as Jivan Mritan? Now remember, this is being spoken by Sukadeva Goswami, who not only heard from his father Vyasadeva, but he himself is a realized soul. So he has realized by himself, by experience or by observation. And he is speaking these verses that someone who is rich apparently but working on a bodily platform is considered to be living dead. Such a powerful objective statement is being made by Sukadeva Goswami, that is a living dead. So who is that living dead? Someone who is dead for self-realization. Someone may be vibrant, very active, alive to the external world. Somebody may be a chief executive officer. Somebody may be a renowned artist. Somebody may be a sports person. Somebody may be a Miss Universe. Somebody may be so and so. But all these persons are considered to be dead because if they are not working on a spiritual platform. What gives life to a body is not this body. The body is a dead matter. It's composed of 5 elements. So as it is dead. And if you are working on that platform, then obviously that person is a dead person, although alive. Unless that person comes to the platform of spirituality, because it's a spirit soul which gives life to the body. It's like a car. You are driving the car doesn't have any life. But what drives the car is the driver. The driver may take the car at a speed, maybe you get a ticket if you are exceeding the speed limit. But otherwise, if that person who drives the car gives the life to the car. But as it is, the car is made up of only material elements. So similarly, this body is also a dead matter. And what gives life to this body is the spirit soul. And hence Krishna in 18.59, he says, Ishvara sarva bhutana hudiyesha arjuna tishtati brahmayam sarva bhutani yantra rudani mayaya. So this body is a yantra. It's a machine given to us by mayaya, by the material energy. And this body has a purpose. If that purpose is not realized, then we have wasted our life. We have spoiled our life. So when we forget the purpose for which the soul has been placed in this material body, which is meant for self-realization, or we are part and parcel of Lord Krishna, then such a person is called a living dead. We may practice so many professions, we may be in our materially such a well-off position, but it has no value. And we are given 3 examples here. That is the unpoised plant, or Ubhaya Artha Shunya. No. It is Karaskara Kakutunda. Is it right? And then Apunya Drumalata, impious trees and creepers. Once we were, before moving closer to temple, we were in Wantina South, and in that part of the area, there are a lot of bushy walk tracks. And weekends typically, as a family, we used to walk through the bushy track. So one such track, for the first time we were walking, it was a pleasant weather in the afternoon, and we walked quite a bit, and suddenly on a narrow track we found continuously buried plants or buried creepers. And all the plants there had big berries. I think there were some black color berries, and very attractive, and when the look of itself showed they were very juicy. And we were all tempted, why not we take few of them and take home, offer to our Gaurnika, and then relish them.
But it's poisonous.
But somehow something told us that this is a walking track, so many plants full of berries, and nobody is touching them, which is something unusual. Because mankind, when a person is walking and you find the berry, the tendency is to take few berries and then put it in your mouth. If that's the case, how is that these berries are still on the plant? There must be some reason. And then we were searching if there is anything, some message there, and there we found a label. Please do not touch these berries. These are poisonous. So it means that apparently it's a juicy fruit, but actually it is poisonous. And this is called Maya. What it is not is trying to tell us, by look of it saying, it's inviting us, eat me, enjoy me, eat me, enjoy me. But then when we try to take that fruit, obviously you are going to the hospital or you are going beyond the hospital. Depending on the number of fruits you gulp with your mouth. Yeah, it could be. And then another example is given here in terms of the well. If you look at I was trying to find out, because here it is said the water, poisonous water, udapanavar, like wells with poisonous water. Arsenic is one such element found in water in many parts of the world. In India, China, US and other places. And arsenic has no taste and no odor, so no smell. It dissolves in water. Obviously, we think that here is a beautiful well with water, and why not we take it? Because 70% or 80% of the body is with water. Yes, doctor? So therefore, doctors tell us that you must take abundant quantity of water which nourishes our body. And then here is the well, I try to take water. The result, it is with arsenic as an element, and over a period of time, it creates problems for you. So it's a slow poisoning, or depending on the arsenic content, it would be making a person critical immediately as well. Then there are germs available in water, which if you can see them, that's fine. But there are many germs which you can't see. And you take that water, you contract disease.
Coronavirus?
Coronavirus, maybe, I don't know that part, but the coronavirus is in water. Okay, so Dr. Mahatma Prabhu said that coronavirus can be in water, and so therefore...
City water.
Is it? Okay. So city water, drinking water has coronavirus, and I think we are living in wastewater. Okay. So we are living in a point of time in our life where the very name corona drives us into a difficult situation, especially those whose families are affected by that. One can't imagine the amount of anxiety, fear it creates. Because right now, as a family, we are experiencing, both my mother and sister are confirmed with corona, and we are spending anxious, sleepless nights. Mother is in the hospital, sister, she is recovering, but mother is in the hospital. And I'll tell you the story there, how, in the context of how Krishna consciousness helps even in the material front. At the end, I'll pick up that storyline. So therefore, in order to see that you don't drink that contaminated water, or take that poisonous berries or fruits which are mentioned, which is apunya drumalata and udapanavad, what do we need? We require intelligence, buddhi. And this intelligence is not a material intelligence as we normally think. Yeah, I'm an intelligent person, I can use my intelligence to understand. But this intelligence is a descending process. To understand the difference between the body and the spirit soul, I'm not the body, I'm the spirit soul. It's not just in the spirit soul, but I'm part and parcel of Krishna. And therefore I have to serve my master, I have to serve the Lord. That knowledge is a descending process. So that intelligence is given to us by the grace of the Lord. Yeah, in Parampara, we receive through Parampara. So we get experience. Experience is a great teacher, but that experience is not going to allow us to graduate from this material world. What graduates us from this material world is the knowledge we receive in disciplic succession, tracing back to the original teacher, the Supreme Lord Krishna. And therefore, Prahlad Maharaj said that if you are in this material world, puna puna charita charvanam. Every day we commit the same mistakes. Every life we go through the same cycle, and we don't realize. We can take even normal examples. A person who takes to alcohol, the person thinks that daytime he drinks alcohol and nighttime he drinks and daytime he is continuously vomiting. He is in the bathroom. And he thinks that, well, what type of a life am I leading? And let me stop this. But when the night comes again, he takes to alcohol. Can't sleep. It's the same habit, attachment to that. Then we have, I don't know whether I can give the example of a relationship between a wife and husband. People get divorced. But they think that, well, I've got divorced, that's okay, that's gone, but let me try for another partner. And then try for another partner. The search goes on. So all this indicates that we are trying the same formula that we think that can give us happiness. But we need the intelligence, the discerning process to reach out to the person, to understand that we are not the body, we are the spirit soul, and it's a soul which gives life to the body, and there is a purpose for this life beyond eating, sleeping, mating, and depending. Otherwise, such a person is called a living dead. And that's the reason why Srila Prabhupada insisted that let his books be distributed all over the world. That's the greatest service we can render to Srila Prabhupada and to the movement and to the society and to the society and the world itself by giving this descending knowledge to the individuals, that they understand that they are not the body but they are beyond, and the life comes not from matter but life comes from life. Otherwise, so therefore we have two paths. At every stage of our life, we have a choice. And the choice is either to take the path of Krishna consciousness or the path of the material life. The choice is there. Krishna has given us the free will. Which path we want to take. If our mind is attached to the sense objects, then we have the famous 2.63 and 2.64 Krishna talks about, that contemplation on material objects develops attachment, and from attachment, what do we get? The desire to enjoy. And from that desire, we get the anger, and from anger to bewilderment, and from bewilderment, loss of memory, and from loss of memory to the loss of intelligence. And the person falls into the material pool, and this goes on as a chewing the chew, same thing again and again. Or we have a choice to contemplate on what Krishna is saying. Manana bhava manubhakto manadhyaji mam namaskuru. So we have this choice at every stage of our life, or we can say that every minute of our life, or every second of our life, you have a choice whether you want to take this path or you want to take this path. Someone who can exercise the Krishna consciousness path is considered to be the most intelligent person on this planet. But someone who is not taking the Krishna consciousness path, he is wasting his life. So therefore, whatever wealth we acquire, it should be used in Krishna's service. As Prabhupada gives the quote, Yat karosi, yat asnasi, yat juhosi dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurusva madarpanam, o samappunti. All that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform should be done as an offering to me. Therefore, material wealth and opulence attained through previous pious activities can be fully utilized for one's benefit in this life and the next if one is Krishna conscious. So if somebody understands the value of life, only such a person can utilize that wealth properly. Otherwise, Prabhupada gives the example, unless he does so, he eats a forbidden apple and thereby loses his paradise. Anyone who can speak about this? He eats a forbidden apple. I think children in the school, are you told about this story? No? Forbidden apple and thereby loses his paradise. No? Okay, I think this appears in Bible, and it is said that it was totally dark, complete dark. It appears in Old Testament, the Bible. And God says, day one, He creates day and light. Because completely dark, so therefore He says, give light, so the day and light. Then day two, I believe He creates the sky. Day three, He creates the land, which is called earth. And day four, He creates trees and grains and fruits and other edible things that can cover earth. And day five, living beings which are in water and air. So airborne and in water. And day six, He creates creatures on the land. And day seven, I believe He creates human beings. And then Lord took some rest. The first human being to be created was, who was he? Adam. First human being was Adam. And Adam did not know what to do because he was all alone. And then how was he created? He was created from the dust. And the Lord breathes life into that person, and therefore he becomes Adam. And then Lord tells Adam, you are in charge of these creatures and the plants. You can enjoy your life. And then Adam was put to sleep. Then because Adam was alone, he did not know anything, then God, I believe, from his rib, He creates a female. And so that's the counterpart for the male. And so therefore they call it woman. Woman means that coming from man. So Adam and Eve are there. Then He created paradise with all the fruits and everything. And then He tells Adam and Eve that this whole paradise, whatever fruits you have, is meant for you to enjoy. Except one tree. He says, do not pluck trees from that tree. That tree is called the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So except that tree, you can take fruit from all the other trees. And that's how they were following. But then came Satan in the form of a snake. And then that snake advised, are you enjoying the fruits? Yes, we are enjoying the fruits. Are you eating the fruit from all the trees? They say, yeah, we are eating from all the trees except that one tree we are not taking. Then the Satan says that you must eat the fruit from that tree that gives you the knowledge. So you must take that. Eve says, no, we are forbidden from taking it. Says, no, you must take it. That gives you the knowledge. There is a reason why God has said not to eat, but therefore you must eat that. That gives the knowledge. Eve was tempted. And then she takes the fruit. And then she gives the part of fruit to Adam. It is said, till then they were naked. They did not know what is the meaning of nude. The moment they ate that fruit, they realized, oh, we are naked, we should cover up our body, and therefore they take some dry leaves and then they try to cover the body, they hide. What does it mean? That by listening to that Satan, that the ego has entered into them, which brought into the duality of the world, and with that duality, they are able to see what is good and bad. So that the innocence of purity was lost after eating the fruit from that tree. And when the God came, the Adam and Eve, they were hiding. And God said, where are you, Adam and Eve? They said that we are hiding. Why are you hiding? He said, because we are naked and we want to cover up ourselves. Then God said, have you eaten those forbidden fruit? They said, yes, we have taken. Why did you do that? Because snake that Satan has advised us to take, that gives us the knowledge, and now we got the knowledge that we are naked and we are covering up ourselves, we are hiding, we do not want to be seen. And God becomes angry. What does he do? He curses the Satan to become a snake. So that the snake without legs, it can walk, it can crawl with a lot of pain as it goes through sandy area or other bushy with nails and other places. So that's how Satan is cursed to become a snake. And God curses Eve, I believe, that you will become a woman on the earth, and you will deliver children, and while delivering children, you will feel immense pain. So that's the curse given to the lady or Eve. And then he curses Adam that you become, here you are happy to enjoy the fruits, but to get the same fruit, you will have to toil day in and day out. You will have to work hard. And by working hard, you will encounter weeds. You will encounter other bushy areas that will prick through your body. You will suffer. So these are three curses. One to Eve, other to Satan, and the third to the Adam. And what is that Satan or snake which has advised Adam and Eve to eat the fruit? It is the Maya, the material energies, always tempting us. You do this, you get this benefit. You eat this, you get this nourishment. But actually, when you are eating that berry, it's a poisonous fruit. If you drink this water, it is poisonous water. So what does this mean? When the consciousness changes from the perspective of Bhaktaram Yajnatapasam, that let the Lord be in the center. Because that is Srila Prabhupada says that is the peaceful formula. How to remain peaceful in this material world. So that's a peace formula. In that peace formula, we should understand Bhaktaram Yajnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Sudhutam Sarva Bhutana Gyatva Shanti Pruchati. So that Shanti, that peace one gets when we follow these three parameters, three aspects. That Krishna is the enjoyer, Krishna is the proprietor, and he is Suhrutam Sarva Bhutanam, he is the well-wisher. So if we have these three in our consciousness, then we are not eating the poisonous fruit, nor are we drinking the poisonous water. But instead of saying Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam, we tend to say that I am at the center. I am the enjoyer. I am the benefactor. And I am the proprietor. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Samsiddhi Haritoshanam. So this is Bhagavatam, Samsiddhi Haritoshanam. That whatever we perform, whatever we do, we should do as an offering to the Lord. Otherwise it binds it. And in Ishopanishad also we have that Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam, that everything belongs to Krishna, Idam Sarvam, and Krishna gives our quota. I should take my quota and then use that quota in service of Krishna. So that quota is just to maintain my body and spirit soul together while longing for the ultimate goal in life. If I can do that, then I am living a purposeful life. So therefore Prabhupada in his Jaladuta, he said that I am a puppet. It is Krishna, you are the puppeteer. Whatever you make me dance, I will dance. There must be a reason why you brought me here, and then let me be your instrument. So this should be our consciousness. That is Krishna consciousness. Let me be an instrument in the hands of my spiritual master. Let me be an instrument in the hands of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Then my life becomes successful. We think that through effort, through whatever hard work we are doing, we can solve all the problems. But we don't understand that unless we take shelter of the Lord, even in the realm of material activities, we do not get the required intelligence to work properly. Let me give the personal experience I had or we are going through in the last 1 week. Last week, my mother, she's 91 years. She stays at home, she doesn't go out anywhere. She's reasonably protected, but still she contracted COVID positive. Initially, she was for the first 5 days, she was placed on homeopathic medicine. Her cough, fever seemed to have reduced, but last Monday, her blood sample was sent for corona, and then Tuesday we received that is COVID positive. And when you check oxygen levels, saturation level, it was 90, it was maintaining, but next day morning when we got up, it was 84. And obviously, we entered into a panic situation. Yeah, saturation levels were dropping. My brother is in Hyderabad, and we were coordinating. My elder brother stays in the US, and my sister and myself, we are here. 3 of us were coordinating with brother, and he said in Hyderabad he rang up 45 hospitals. Not one hospital, but 45 hospitals for a bed. He could not get a bed in 45 hospitals. And you can imagine your own mother in front of you, gasping for breath, and you are not able to do anything. And when he said to me, a thought came to me as a flash. That's what I said. Krishna's given me intelligence. I said, Krishna. I said, Radha Vallabha. My mother has been chanting your name for the last 22 years. Is this the way you want my mother to leave the body? Somehow when the thought came, Krishna gave the intelligence. 15 years with the orthopedic surgeon, and it's only morning 6 o'clock he goes to sleep. And here it was 11:30, it means that it's about 7 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock Melbourne time, and it's 7 o'clock in Hyderabad. He would have slept at 5:36, so just 1 hour sleep. I said, let me give a call to him, because this person is an assistant to a senior orthopedic surgeon who happens to own a hospital. So let me give a call. And miracle, when I gave the call, he picked up the phone. He said, Prabhu, what can I do for you? So I said, Prabhu, मेरी माँ की तबीयत ठीक नहीं है, and I need a bed in the hospital. He said that I'll try, Prabhu, because the beds are all full. But just give me 2 minutes time, I'll come back to you. He gave a call to the hospital, and then he said, Prabhu, bed is available, you shift your mother to the hospital. I gave a call to my brother saying that so it's a hospital, Sharni Hospital in Hyderabad is available, you shift mommy to a hospital. He is trying hectically for ambulance. Ambulance is no ambulance service available. And he was trying and trying and trying and trying. No ambulance service was available. So this is another tragedy then. First bed was not available, then the bed was available, then the ambulance is not available. So then I was trying from here, he was trying directly to contact the ambulance service. I was trying, okay, let me try through the family circle. Then I rang up to my cousin's niece, or my second cousin. I said, Sunita, we need ambulance. Do you know any ambulance service? Immediately she said, Shekhar Mama, I know the ambulance because her parents were not okay. And then she was shuttling them from Apollo Hospital to her place regularly. And then I know the driver personally. And then she contacted the driver. But in the meantime, 2.5 hours had passed by. But finally the ambulance came. Mother was shifted to the hospital and she was given the required oxygen. So this happened on Tuesday she was confirmed. Wednesday morning, afternoon, this drama took place. And Wednesday by, I think local time, 12:30, Hyderabad time, she was shifted to the hospital. And then since then she is on oxygen. So what I'm trying to say is, if we were stuck to the material realm only, my mother, anything could have happened. But the fact that some 15 years back, I gave Bhagavad Gita as it is, the book to that Gangadhar, the physiotherapist, assistant to the owner of the hospital, and therefore he arranged for the bed. Then the cousin rang her up, she arranged for the ambulance. These two things came together, and then mother was shifted to the hospital. So we hear how Krishna made a beautiful arrangement. That because I said, Radha Vallabha, mother has been chanting for the last 22 years. Is this the way how you want her to leave the body? Just that thought came and the rest of the process fell in its place. So therefore what it means is that there is an urgent need for us to take the message of Krishna consciousness throughout this planet. We should reach out to every individual so that their life moves on a spiritual platform. From abhadrani, from the material desires, it is elevated to the spiritual platform. And that's a service we have been doing, or some of the devotees have been rendering wonderful service by distributing books throughout the world. and others are distributing or conducting Bhakti Vriksha programs, distributing prasadam. But what I find is when I conducted Bhakti Vriksha, it was reaching out to about 15 families, 15 members. So each person is conducting a Bhakti Vriksha is able to reach out to 20, 25, 30, maybe 35, 40 members. And this is going to take its own time. It's not that one should not do the distribute prasadam, distribute Prabhupada books. But if you want to reach out to talk to everyone in a quick, shorter time, then why not equally we participate in the Divya Darshana Yajna we are conducting? For the last 1.5 years we have been doing it. When I did some simple calculations, I found that folk news according to readership, it reaches out to about 10,000 individuals read folk news. If you take even 10%, 1,000 of them receive these darshan pictures every day. And if these 1,000 persons can transmit to at least their own 500 contracts, each person 500 contracts. And that 500 contracts can in turn distribute to another 100 members. That 100 members distribute another 50, that 50 distribute another 20. If you do this calculation, that is 1,000 times, 500 times, 100 times, 50 times, 10, 20, then every day you are able to reach out to every individual on this planet who possesses this digital technology. And we can do this service by remaining in the comfort of our own home. You are receiving every day beautiful darshan pictures. Whatever pictures you feel they are good from your own perspective, pick them. But at least include Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, include the Bhagavatam verse every day, and then Lord Sita, Radha Vallabha and Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. And do not forget to add Lord Narasimhadev. Just include the 6 or 7 darshan pictures. You can do it more, but at least include the 6 pictures and distribute widely to your classmates, schoolmates, college mates, university mates. Yare dekhe tare kaho. You just take the telephone number and say, can I give you this message? What you need to do, just look at this darshan pictures and say that, oh, here is Śrīmad Prabhupada darshan, today's darshan, Śrīngāra darshan. Here is Radha Vallabha, here is Lord Nitya, here is Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Let them utter those names, have the darshan, and then retransmit to all their contacts. Anyone you come across, you take the telephone number and you say, Prabhu, you are the most intelligent person on this planet. I am going to send you the darshan pictures every day. Please have the darshan, distribute them. Have darshan and distribute them. It just takes 2 to 3 minutes. But this 2 to 3 minutes which they use will give them so much of benefit in their life that it's unimaginable. They are lifted from the material platform to the spiritual platform. And then that assures a person the journey on the spiritual path. If someone has not started the journey, then the person can start the journey. So summarizing today's verse, that we receive some material benefits. As Kunti Devi said, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Sri. We get that based on the pious activities we have performed in our previous life. And whatever we get that, we should not be misused, rather use them in Krishna consciousness, in serving the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, that person is considered to be a living dead person. It's like the berries or the poisonous trees which gives you poisonous fruits, or is the water contaminated with items like arsenic or other bacteria which is harmful. So the person is creating harm to himself. Atmaha is killing his soul. And as soldiers of Srila Prabhupada, we have to take this mission to the best of our ability. Whatever we are doing or whatever you are doing in terms of Bhakti-Vriksha, Prasadam distribution, book distribution, please include as part of the service the Divya Darshana Yajna also. With this, you are able to reach out to the planet wherever they are. It just takes 2 to 3 minutes of their time every day to have darshan, utter the holy name, the names which purifies them, and that helps them even in this material world, even they are in crisis, as it has helped me in serving my mother in distress. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Any comment? Any corrections?
You said you remember Krishna all the time. So one way is chanting the holy name. You want to tell briefly what are the ways to remember Krishna?
Prabhupada has given us a beautiful formula. What is our formula? In languages all over the world. There was a time when the books were available in local language. But today, from Sanskrit, Srila Prabhupada, out of his kindness, mercy, he has translated, and then his disciples have carried forward the translation into different languages. So the books are available. C is the chanting. Chant the holy name of the Lord. And D is taking Krishna. Everyone needs to eat food. We all want, without food we cannot survive. So why not acknowledge from whom the food is coming? Just an acknowledgement of the supplier or provider of the food nourishes us. And that nourishment gives me the required intelligence. And with that intelligence, I take association, more association of the devotees. And the greatest devotee we have is Srila Prabhupada himself, who is giving his association through his books. Even if we read 1 page a day or 1 verse a day from Srila Prabhupada's books, our life becomes so glorious. And to that, you can add Divya Darshana Yajna. Have darshan of the photos and transmit as widely as possible. I can give so many examples. The day when I don't send the pictures, I get calls, I receive messages. Aapki tabiyat theek nahi hai kya? Is your health not okay? Why we have not received darshan pictures? And to some, when I send them, they say, you are sending us too many pictures every day. How many pictures have I sent to that person? I have got gradations. To some I send 6 pictures, to some I send 10 pictures, to some I send 15, to some I send 30, to some I send 45, to some others I send 70. So depending on how I feel, okay, this person is capable of receiving it or not, accordingly I have sent the number of pictures. And equally I have divided them into groups, sections. Okay, this is Guru Puja Arati, this is Shringar Darshan, this is Shringar Darshan Shaligram, This is Shringar Darshanam, Chota Radha Krishna, Shishi Radha Krishna. These are the angle and close-up thing. So depending on which section you feel you want to see, you can see that particular section. And equally transparent. So here's a person, my office colleague, he said, Chandra, you're sending me every day too many pictures. I said, how many am I sending? You're sending 6 pictures. I said, 6 pictures, too many? How much time is it taking you? It takes me about 3 minutes. So then have a darshan for 3 minutes and read the names what I'm giving there. What are my names I'm giving? Is Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta, Swami Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Founder-Acharya, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. This is the Arati. Then Sri Radha Vallabha, Lord Nityananda, Lord Gauranga, Lord Jagannath, Lord Baladev, Mother Subhadra Devi, and Lord Narasimha Dev. Can you utter these names? How long is it going to take? It takes only 3 to 4 minutes. Then why don't you do that? This will stay with you. So initially he said, Chanda, please stop. So I stopped sending the pictures. Then when I met him on phone, this day we meet only on phone, I said, why don't you do this? He said, okay Chandra, now you send me again. So for the last couple of days, once again he receiving it. So they are not able to understand the value of reading Prabhupada books or having darshan pictures. They are thinking that these pictures are similar to seeing the photos of a politician or of someone, a materialistic person. They are not able to understand that it brings in a revolution in their personal life. It transforms or it transports them from the material domain to the spiritual domain.
In the comfort of your home.
In the comfort of your home. And you can share this, you can be an instrument in the hands of the Lord by sharing the pictures with everyone else. And thus you are benefited and the receiver is benefited. Gandhara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki
Jai.
Śrīla Prabhupada ki
Jai. Shri Krishna Prabhu Divya Darshan Photo Distribution ki
Jai.